You ever feel like whenever you're going out with your friends and the location's cute, the outfit's giving, the lighting is finally decent, and then your friend goes out to pull out the camera, and then there's always that one friend that's always goes completely blank, and 9 times out of 10 it's you. You start looking like you are deers in headlights, and you just don't know where to place your arm or your hand, and then they keep going, wait, where do I stand? What do I do? What poses should I do? And then you look at the photos later and end up not liking any of the photos anyways. Send this to that one friend. Actually, send this to everyone because the person taking the photos probably just need it just as much. Today, we are going through the ultimate guide and cracking the code to actually looking good and flawless in every photo. Because here's the thing, you are not unphotogenic or ugly. You're just not trained, and honestly, the person taking your pictures is probably just as not trained. Chapter 1 is going to be about finding all your angles. So you want to start out by practicing in front of a mirror, or you can use a tripod and use your back camera to actually test some shots. And I prefer the back camera over your front camera because it does give you better quality. You basically want to think about what expressions come naturally to you because those are usually the best candid photos. For example, a genuine big smile versus a more subtle closed-lipped smile. If you're outside and the sun is bright, I recommend closing your eyes and lifting your face upward. It basically eliminates any shadows or light casts on your face. Another trick is to pretend like you're in mid-laugh and then have your eyes closed. That's what a lot of people that I've seen on Instagram do as well. It's effortless and it always looks good. For a cuter facial expression, you can always leave your lips a little bit open, or you can always leave some air in your mouth for a fuller cheek look. And then there's also this like Gen Z trend going around that we are now replacing the kissing face this with like a lip pout instead, and essentially this is where you blow on your lip and then you suck in the bottom of your lip slightly. And then next you want to find your model face. So you want to turn 45 degrees, shift your entire body and your face 45 degrees either to the left or to the right. Basically pick which side looks better, and then that should be your angle. And here's the thing, you don't always have to stare straight at the camera. Most people's faces aren't asymmetrical, so usually the side looks better. And then like when you look 45 degrees, you don't even have to look at the camera. You can kind of like look towards the side, and then it should give you that I'm not even trying vibe. Next, we're gonna go into positioning your body. To position your body, you always need to start with good posture. You want to make sure you straighten up and push back those shoulders because we do not want to look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So always make sure you're in a neutral spine position and then have the shoulders back. To create a more elongated effect or make yourself look taller, you can step one foot in front of the other and then angle it inwards, and that small shift will make you look like a skinny leg queen. The next method is using triangles. Basically want to create triangles to get rid of any stiffness in your body that shows through in your photos. You can try running your hand through your hair, which creates that triangle effect. You can also put your hands in your pocket or propping one foot up. You can extend your leg out to the side. And even when you're sitting down, use your hands to create those angles rather than going flat. So either doing this or doing something like this, putting your arms over your legs. And if you want the shot to come out more candid, always try moving. Don't just stay in one static position, but you can twirl, swing one arm back and forth. You can even walk in place or even run a little, but moving does get rid of that awkwardness in your photos because you don't want your photos to come off looking stiff. And now moving on to tips for your photographer. First things first is you always want to prepare some reference photos for the person taking your photos because you do not want to leave it up to their interpretation. And make sure to clean your lenses front and back before taking the photos because we do not want blurry or hazy photos unless that's the vibe you are going for. For half body shots, the camera should be level to your chest, about like here. For full body shots and depending on where you are in the photo, the photographer can shoot slightly from a lower angle to elongate your figure. And if you are seated, the photographer can shoot from a slightly down angle. Make sure your legs are always hitting the bottom of the frame because we do not want gaps. If there are gaps, that will literally make you look so short. If you have an iPhone, you can turn on the 3x3 overlay. So the idea is to keep the vertical subjects, which is you in this case, aligned with the vertical lines, and then basically match the horizontal lines to the horizon. For selfies, you want to land in the center of the square, and then for half or full body shots, you want to stay within one of the vertical lines. And if there's just a plain background, you can also center yourself into the middle. For lighting, golden hour is going to be your best friend. So that's either early in the morning or late in the evening. This is basically when the sun is lower and the sunlight is directly facing you rather than beating from overhead, because that's when it casts a really bad shadow over your face. So if you want to take pictures during the daytime, find where the light bounces off and face that way. For night photos, they usually come out overexposed, so I would tap on your screen and manually lower the exposure. For the last couple of hacks, they're more about background and outfit ideas. You want to avoid cluttered or visually busy backgrounds. They basically pull attention away from you, and usually it comes out pretty ugly. Unless, I guess, you are in the middle of the Shibuya four-way crossing and I guess the people are the point. But other than that, you want to keep the background clean. When it comes to your outfit, you should definitely coordinate based on your location. You can either complement or contrast the background. So for example, if there's a dark backdrop, I would wear white. Or if it's a cloudier sky, I would wear blue and white. Basically, you can either match the color palette or you can contrast it with the opposite color of the color wheel. Basically, the goal is for you and the setting to feel intentional together. And that is everything. No more freezing up in the middle of a shoot. No more hating every photo of yourself. If this helped, give it a like and send it to that one friend. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.